I'm Rick. This is Kathy.
Welcome to the Dutton Homestead.
And chicken math is real.
For the past, 6 weeks or so, Rick's been working on structures to support the many chickens that we have acquired since the beginning of March. And he wants to show you some of his work, what he's done and why he's done it, and that's what this video is about tonight.
So we built a couple of chicken tractors. One is a Soskovich style chicken tractor that I kind of modified a little bit, which pretty much everybody does. That one cost me about right around $300 to build it. And then we got more chickens and we needed another one. So this is our first one that I built. It's really nice. It's what our meat birds are in. I've got it so the tarp, I can roll it up, put it down at night once it gets cold or whatever. Changed the design of the wheels on it. Instead of just putting them on the back, I get them so they just stay on there. Put them down, put them up. It works pretty good. It's a little heavier than I thought it would be, and I think that's just wheel placement. But it works well. The birds seem to like it. These are our meat birds. They'll be going to freezer camp tomorrow. They will be 9 weeks old, and they've done really well. They're kosher king meat birds we got from Freedom Hatchery, and I really like the progress we've had with them.
We ordered 25 and they sent us 26.
Yeah, and we still have 26.
They all did really well. They're super heavy to pick up. They look like maybe slightly bigger than our hens, than our laying hens. They are very dense. It'll be interesting to see how they all weigh out tomorrow.
This is the second chicken tractor I built. This one cost me $0. The tarp was the only thing. This is something that we had. We've had it for years. I think it was actually my father-in-law's. It was in the shed. So I used what I had. But everything else on it is pallet wood, scrap chicken wire, stuff that people were throwing away. There's welded wire on the bottom, old roofing metal that was left over.
Old school board signs from back in the day.
Lawnmower wheels. This one is much bigger and heavier than the other one, but it moves really easy, and I think a lot of it is just the placement of the wheels where it balances out a little bit better. But it serves its purpose. In our new layers are in here. These are our New Hampshire Reds and Delawares, and they are 11 weeks old.
We got these because they're dual purpose, so we can breed them for broilers, fryers, or meat birds, whatever you want to call them. They're also considered to be really good layers. If you take, and I can't remember if it's a rooster, like a New Hampshire rooster and a Delaware hen, or a Delaware rooster and a New Hampshire hen, but if you breed them together, you get a breed that's called Indian River, which we'll probably mess around with that at some point. Not right now though, because really we don't need any more chickens right now. But these guys have been pretty awesome, and we ordered, what did we order? 6 of each, hens and 2 roosters.
Right.
Each, and they gave us an extra
an extra Delaware rooster, and an extra New Hampshire
New
hen.
Hampshire hens. So we ended up with more, and they also all survived. They
So
all
right, we
the
got
shipment.
we ordered 8 of each. We got 9 of each.
And these guys were shipped when we had the cold weather, the unexpected cold weather, like.
And the post office actually delivered these to the house.
Yeah, the post office delivered these to the house. The kosher kings we had to go get. So we didn't know what to expect. This is the first time we actually ordered birds. We had been picking them up at various feed stores, hardware stores, or Tractor Supply last year. So.
And they're really good-natured birds. We haven't handled them a lot, but they're not flighty. They'll let you touch them a little bit. Every once in a while, they'll jump up into your hand and hang out. And I think they're going to work out well.
Yeah. Okay.
With these tractors, they get moved daily. This one's set up a little bit different than the other one. I have to move their feed and water out. I could set it up a little different, but this one's going to be set up for layers as they get a little bit older. If I still don't have a place for them, I may put nesting boxes in here. It already has roosting bars that they use. So this one's set up more for layers or pullets anyway, whereas the other one is just for the meat birds. Either one of them, I guess, could be modified. Okay. Over here, we've got a bunch of chicks that we hatched out ourselves. They're kind of mixed breeds. There are some Well-Summers, a couple of Barred Rocks, and the rest of them are Easter Egger and Easter Egger mix, except for 4 Leghorns that I bought from a local store. And this is just a temporary setup because they're ready to go outside, but not old enough to be integrated in with our regular flock. So I threw together a cheap little coop that was it's a cattle panel and a tarp and some scrap lumber that I had. Cost me $34 for the cattle panel. And then the rest of it is this is like a temporary pool fence that somebody was throwing out. It sells for like $500 for the whole kit. Somebody was throwing it out, so in a pool net that's going over the top. You want to go in first or no?
These ones like to escape. I chased like 4 of them around yesterday. So they're still pretty immature. I can't remember, were these ones born hatched? When were they hatched?
They were I don't remember. I think they're about 6 weeks old.
But this is the setup he did with that.
They're only a few weeks behind the meat birds, actually. I think they're 2 weeks behind the meat birds.
And there's, what did we get, like 19 of these ones?
Yep. And you can see this, like...
So he's got the setup in there. They need food, huh?
They do need food. I just gave them that water. It's already disgusting.
Need to get another, like a bucket feeder, a bucket water, especially as it's getting hotter now. But we had noticed that last week we had noticed that they were starting to miss some feathers on their back. And we figured out that they were getting behind this thing, in between the fence from the coop, the big coop, and the tarp. And then these little beasts were pecking at them.
And I believe it was those too. It was the golden comets that were doing it.
So we just put some bricks up, and so far they haven't gone back there. You followed us at all for any length of time. This property is basically built on bricks, so there's always a brick or 500 handy. Beast, the rooster that has been in with our layers. This is probably going to be his last appearance on a video.
It is.
He will be going with the birds tomorrow. He will be harvested. He has been a real jerk. He's been hard to work with. I have not been able to get in and actually work in here, putting fresh stuff down, other than the weeds that I'm picking at in the garden and giving them to eat. I haven't been able to get in there and shovel and turn compost. Therefore, a lot of work that I started because he attacks me never got finished, and there's a lot of wasted time in there on the bottom of that run 4. Yeah. So, bye-bye.
Unlike the meat birds that I'm actually going to miss, I'm not going to miss him.
No. He's going to probably be the first one. And I'm really hoping that the other roosters, that we can form a connection with the new ones that we got in here, and maybe they won't turn to be complete monsters. What? Yeah. Yep.
He says, I want to be first to go through the chicken plucker.
Yeah. I'm not going to miss you at all. It's too bad because he had gotten sick at one time, and we had taken him out, and we
brought him in the house.
We brought him in the house. He was in the house with us for probably a couple weeks. Nursed him back to health, vitamin B and apple cider vinegar, and gave him lots of loving, and then when it was warm enough and he was seeing like he was healthy again, and we put him back out, and I don't know what happened, but he just, I don't know, I fear him, so I cannot live with him, so he's got to go.
So this is where the new coop is going to go. I'm going to build a 16 by 8 coop, and I'm going to try to do it for free, or basically free. I found through some unnamed sources, I found a place to get some really nice shipping crates that were built with some good quality lumber. And I now have enough lumber to build it. There's more up by the house, but it's going to go right in this area, and we should be able to integrate all of the birds into that one coop. Over here are
And expand the chicken run.
Over here are breeding runs. This guy shaking his head here is Rocky. He's walking the Green Mile tomorrow too.
You're number 2. You're number 2.
We have replacement cockerels for him. So when we get ready to breed, we'll still have barred rock roosters. It just won't be him. Now this is Blue. He's a blue Australorp. He's actually getting a reprieve tomorrow because he's okay. He's still a rooster, but he's not a mean rooster.
So far, he hasn't come at us. Well, maybe once when he thought he was.
Yeah,
feeling
if you
threatened.
corner him, he'll fight. But if you give him his space, he's fine. He won't intentionally come after you looking for a fight. Now, this is Rainy. He's a Welsummer.
He's a beautiful bird. He's just a jerk.
Yeah. And he's unpredictable. Sometimes he's okay. He'll kind of give you your space, but other times he wants to fight. So, and he's a little rough on the girls.
You were my favorite. Until
he
you
was
learn.
another one that got really sick during the winter. He got a really bad case of frostbite. It was back around Christmas time. We had some single-digit temperatures, and he got really bad frostbite on his comb and his wattles, and he lost a lot of his comb. He used to have really big sharp points on his comb, and lost all that. But he was another one that was in the house with us for a couple of weeks and nursed him back to health, and he's a jerk. So this is the rest of the wood I got. There was all shipping crates. These things were 20 feet long, and I had to cut them to get them into my truck. But they're all mostly 1x4s. There's some 1x6s. But this stuff is all rough cut lumber, whereas the stuff that was down by the barn was all finished, kiln dried and pressure treated wood. But free, and works great for building chicken coops. I got a bunch of these smaller crates too that were plywood. Some of them, like this one down here, is again made out of rough cut. And I had a couple of them that I made chicken brooders out of.
This is the last batch that we hatched out, because not all of them that we had put into the first run into the incubator made it, and we still wanted a certain breed.
So the brown ones there are Well Summers, and the black ones are Barred Rocks. We still tried for Australorps. We had 4 eggs that went in the incubator, and they all developed right up until they should have hatched, but then they just didn't hatch. One of them tipped and never made it out. We had one other Barred Rock that hatched and died right after hatching. But these guys are 3 weeks old now?
Yeah.
3 weeks old, fully feathered. They don't have the heat lamp on them anymore or anything. They're still inside the garage. And this is one of the crates that I also got from that. It was a company that I have no idea what they do. Some of them had like roller chains in them and stuff. They're, it's heavy freight stuff from all over the world. But it was a free crate that I made a brooder out of, and it works out pretty good. Okay, this is our setup for tomorrow. Our chicken processing. Cooler's full of ice already. Table that I learned this from somebody on YouTube. PVC, Schedule 40 PVC to extend the table up so you got a good working height on it, and you're not bending over and wrenching your back. So good height. Old piece of countertop. That's my cutting board that I've been using for years. Needs to be cleaned, but this actually came from a hockey rink. It was the section of the boards from a hockey rink. And scalding pot is a turkey fryer with a basket in it. Brand new, never been used chicken plucker. Can't wait to try it out. But these are our dispatching cones. They're just old traffic cones that, are getting tossed out. Scrap wood. I don't know if you've noticed a theme here. I don't like spending money. This right here was an investment though, and hopefully it gives us a lot of good service for many years to come.
By not spending a lot of money on things that we can scrounge around and look for and find useful, we can better afford things like a chicken plucker and a freeze dryer and an incubator and things like that. So you pick and choose what you're going to spend money on. So that's kind of how we roll. So that's what we wanted to tell you to talk about tonight, show you what we've been doing with the chickens and what the plan is. Some of the layers, we don't need all the chickens that are going to be layers, and we have a few people from church have expressed an interest once they start laying of buying them from us. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Someone from work, but then he hasn't said anything. So I don't know. We may end up just having like 70 layers. And I'm going to learn how to do stuff with eggs. Like,
It's hard to tell with the Easter eggers until they really start getting their feathers. It's hard to tell with them the difference between the hens and the roosters.
right. We will more than likely be doing, more dispatching of roosters because we don't need that many roosters. We never needed 4 roosters. They get loud, and I think we're just fortunate that no one has complained, because it's not like we're in the middle of nowhere like what we want to be. We're actually amongst people.
Yeah.
So
we have 3.5 acres here on our homestead, but we're in city limits.
right.
So we have neighbors. They're not real close, but they're close enough.
Yeah.
So
So thank you for joining us. Hit like and subscribe, and
be a blessing.
be blessed.